Hey guys, this is going to be functions and relations review. So a function is where each x value has one y value. We also talked about it as when x doesn't repeat. Okay. Relation is just going to be a set of ordered pairs. Not all relations are going to be functions. Functions are more specific. And again, that's when x does not repeat. So we're going to look at a couple different types of examples and see whether they are a function or not a function. So looking at the first one, again, all we care about is x. So 1, 2, 3, 4, x doesn't repeat. We don't care what's happening with y. So this one is a function. Okay, x doesn't repeat. On the second one, again, all we care about is x. So 1, 2, 3, and 3. 3 is going to 8. 3 is going to 9. We said x can only have one y value. So it can't be going to both 8 and 9. This is not a function. It is only a relation. I know some of you prefer writing it that way. Okay, this is not a function. X equals 3 has two different outputs, or x repeats. Next one, looking again, all we care about are the x values. So x is 4, 6, 8, 10. Function x does not repeat in this table. Okay. We talked briefly about these weird mapping things with arrows and circles. Again, what we're looking at is just the input. Input is the same as x. Output is the same as y. So do my x values repeat? Okay, 10 has only one arrow, 20 has one arrow, 30 has one arrow, 40 has one arrow. This is a function. Okay, x doesn't repeat, each x has one output. Taking a look at the next one. So domain is x, range is y. So looking at the x's, 1 goes to 2, 4 goes to 5, and -5, not the same number. Okay, 5 and -5 are not the same number. So this is not a function. X equals 4 has two different outputs. Sometimes we're given a graph, and while we're still going to look at whether x is repeating or not, if you remember, we had this test called the vertical line test. Okay, remember vertical lines go up and down. So we would take these vertical lines and draw them through the graph. And remember, if we passed through twice, then it was not a function. Okay. Vertical line crosses the graph twice. We failed the vertical line test. There isn't either. Okay, we crossed twice. Versus on this graph, when I draw an arrow, I'm only crossing one time. Okay, every line I draw, I'm only crossing through the graph one time. So this one would be a function. Oof. Each vertical line crosses the graph only one time. Okay, crossing once versus here we're crossing twice in the first graph. All right, we've got some vocab words that we're going to hit up next. Okay, so synonyms meaning the same thing. So X, also known as X, is domain. Also known as X is input. Also known as X is independent. Also known as X is the X coordinate. Y is known as the range. Y is also our output and our dependent variable and our Y coordinate. The last thing that we are going to talk about is more specifically about domain and range. Okay, so we just said domain was our X values. Okay, so domain is going to be X. Range is going to be all the Y values. So looking at the table, remember we did these funny squiggly lines, okay, to try to keep everything together. So what are all my X values? I've got -4, -2, 0, and 3. Notice my X repeats twice. We only need to put it down the one time though. Range is going to be all my Y values. So I've got 2, 5, 0, 5, but we already have that written down, and 9. Domain is going to be X, range is going to be Y. In ordered pairs, it goes X and then it goes Y. So I think some of you back when we did this, you would label it as X and Y. If you need to do that, go ahead and do that this time. Okay, domain is going to be all of the X values. So we've got 5, 3, 7, 2, 4, and 6. Here are all the different X values that I just wrote down. Range are going to be the Y values. So all of my Y values, I've got 4, 2, already have 2 written down, already have 4 written down, 3, and 8. Okay, we're only going to write down each number one time. From a graph, I know when we did scatter plots, a lot of you like to draw in the boxes. So if you need to draw the boxes, okay, remember ordered pairs again though, goes X and then it goes Y. So this ordered pair, I've got -6, 1. This ordered pair is at 2, 5. This ordered pair is located at 4, -3. Again, this is my X, this is my Y. Okay, this is our X-axis, this is our Y-axis. This point is at 7, -3. And then we do have a point here. That's going to be at 0, -4. So we've got all these ordered pairs. Let's go ahead and figure out what all of our X values are for the domain. So we've got -6, 0, 2, 4, and 7 for our domain. Those are all of the X values that are given. Range, all of my Y values, we're going to have -4, -3, 1, and 5, all of my Y values that are on this graph. Okay. Last thing, find the range. So that's going to be the Y values given this equation. So X is equal to these numbers. Guys, we're going to take these numbers and put them in for X. So 2 times -2 minus 1. We can switch over to Desmos. Okay, so we've got 2 multiplied by -2 minus 1. We end up with -5. Okay, we're just substituting these numbers in. So 2 times 0 minus 1. Two multiplied by 0 minus 1. Right? Notice we get the same answer whether we use the parentheses or not. Okay, so I will leave that up to you whether you want to use them. We still got -1 and -1. And then 2 times 3 minus 1. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 minus 1 is going to get me to 5. This would be my range, all of the y values.